Alright, welcome back, guys. My name is Ray.
And I'm Anthony.
And today we're going to be talking about the six overrated cards six cards that we think that they're really overrated. We think that there's a lot of cards that are being played that don't really need to, like, be in every deck. Or, like, at least not run four of them, you know?
Yeah, or, I don't know, people, it's, because, like, some of these are tech options, too. Yeah. But, like, you just don't get as much value.
Yeah. Like, they might work better as a tech option rather than, like, just run four of them and, like, this is the card that, like, is going to win me the game, right? Because more than likely, it won't. It'll get you somewhere, but, like, it probably won't, like, win you the game.
We're just, like, we're not feeling these cards.
Yeah. Like,
we don't feel it. We don't think they're useless. We're not feeling it.
We're not like with the rest of the camp either, you know. So okay, you wanna start this one?
Yeah. I'll go ahead and start. So the first one is, and this might, all right, not just this card, but a lot of these cards might see like controversy. Like I can see the comments going off like, you guys are idiots. Like,
remember, it's our opinion.
This is our opinion.
It's not, like,
this is what we think.
Yeah.
So the first one right off the bat is the Metal Greymon, the secret rare. That has two abilities. One, its main ability is that it has security attack +2, but when you attack, right, you have to pay 5 memory for it. And then you have the other part, which is what most people play it for, is the inheritable that gives 3,000 DP.
Yeah.
And the reason why I don't feel this card is because, one, I think Red already has like a bunch of DP gain up the butt. Like, at like a doodle swing, and like he's like, all right, swing for 18,000 DP, and I'm
level
like,
6.
I'm like, you didn't need that much, but okay, right?
Yeah.
And the other thing too is, when he's in play by himself, you're not always gonna want to pay that 5 memory. Yeah. Like he sucks at punishing suspended Digimon, right? Rarely ever are you gonna want to swing at a suspended Digimon and pay 5 memory to do it. Yeah. And then he's also a risk, you know, to swing into security. Sometimes it's a clutch play. Sometimes, like, that's just what you needed to push for game. But it's just rare that happens.
Yeah. And also, like you said, right, like, most people run it for, like, the DP, right? But there comes a point, like you said, like, okay, like, 19,000 DP, right? But, like, the most of the security Digimon is going to be 15.
No higher.
Right? Nobody runs the TK from the starter set anymore either.
That's a super rare tech. You never see that. So you never really need to get that high. 16 is like the highest that you need to get, unless you're playing a Final Zubagon Punch matchup. In that matchup, when I'm playing my friend who plays Red, that's when it helps to get over my huge blockers. Other than that, he's not doing much else.
Tech for black.
Yeah.
Tech it for black.
And it's black. Are you really worried about that matchup?
Exactly. I'll go on and take the next one. The one that I think is overrated in a color that I play a lot, which is green. We both think this. We think that Gran Kuagumon promo is overrated. Like, there's so many other ways to, you know, like, do OTK and, like, make your Digimon survive. Bancho Stingmon.
Hello, come on.
So I think that we both think that this is more of like a tech card. You shouldn't necessarily always make a deck around it, because at best it becomes, what is it? 13,000.
13,000
with Yokomon.
He might have jamming if you have Palmon under.
Yeah, exactly.
But like a blocker is gonna like snuff out like your first swing.
Exactly. And also, like, we've been talking about, like, he's so easy to block, right? But we've been seeing less and less, like, jamming Palmon too. Like,
now that I think about it,
now that we're thinking about it, we see maybe, I don't know, maybe because it's expensive, but like, I've been seeing a lot less jamming Palmon recently than regular, you know, like, other Palmons. But yeah, we think that there's other ways to do OTK in green. So this is a nice tech option if you want to take, like, someone's security and then go with your other game plans. But not really, like, we don't think that it's a 4-off in a deck.
No, not at all. Sometimes, like, it comes in clutch. I mean, it tops sometimes, right? If you pilot it really well and you make, like, the best out of the opportunities that you have. But oftentimes, like, I just don't see it putting in that much work. And you tried.
Yeah.
You built a deck and you put your heart into it and it just wouldn't perform for you. So kind of gave up on that one. So our next card, right, is all right, and I feel bad, right? Because I feel like the people who build this deck, like, they have a love for the card, right? But it just, like, it doesn't work out that well. And that's, like, Ancient Guruman. More specifically, people who try to do, like, Ancient Guruman, like, hybrid / tribal. Yeah. You have, like, the amount of setup that you need, right? If you want to get the most out of Ancient Guruman, you need a decent hybrid that's next to him, or a Digimon with Gururu in its name to be able to unsuspend both. And in the meta that we're in, people, like, rarely ever let you have more than one Digimon out.
Exactly.
Like that. And then you also have the aspect of running hybrid support cards and Gururu support cards. Yeah. So it's good for Ancient Guruman because, you know, you could search him out with Gururu support cards, but, like, hybrid cards won't search out your Gururu cards. And Gururu cards won't search out your hybrid cards. So I play it so often where I'm playing someone and they do a Stravimon to search and they whiff the search. Yeah. Or they do a Gabumon to search and then they whiff that search because it's just too mixed. They don't complement each other well enough. So I feel like Ancient Guru, like, not that it's a bad card, it's just blue players who try hard to run it. Like, I just think the hype is too high. And in later sets, it'll be much better. Just now is not the best time for it.
I definitely agree that in later sets it's going to be better. BT6, it's going to get better for sure. With some support for, like, a bond of friendship, and also, like, the new Gabumon that we're getting for that Japan hasn't even gotten yet. It's definitely going to get some good support. Not, like, meta breaking support, not, like, support that's going to, like, be insane, but it gets better, right? Right now is just not the time, and we only have, like, what, 2 weeks for the meta to change again, right? So, you know, like, if you gonna be playing Ancient Guruman, like, and you've been playing BT5 Ancient Guruman, like, great, that's good for you. We just don't think that, like, it was that successful, or, like, it's that good. Although I have had some Ancient Gurumans wreck me. Shout out to Sebastian. Next up, I'm gonna be talking about Yellow.
Yellow is almost always gonna be him.
And this one might seem very controversial for sure, but I think that Andrew and Anthony was like
yeah, dude. I'm gonna voice it in the video.
It's so, like, but I think that Andrew Woman is kind of overhyped as well. In this meta that we have, you know, like, what's it called? Lord Nightmon does so much. Also, I think that he's a little overhyped, but he's so good. I can't even mention him in this.
Is Lord Nightmon or he or she?
Good question. I want to say it's a he, because he's a lord. What's the female of lord?
Lady Lords, right? No,
Lady Lords, Duchess. Is it
Maybe.
Duchess?
I don't
know. Duchess Nightmon is or Lord Nightmon.
Whichever, but go ahead. You were saying Lord Nightmon puts in
so much work, and he already does, like, Andrew Woman, but better, right? Yeah. That I see, like, I for example, like, I built a yellow deck, right? And I ran 4 Andrew Womans on it. And, like, after a while, I just, like, I don't think that it should run 4. I can't deconstruct it because it's my girlfriend's deck now, but, you know, I think that Andrew Woman, for you to get, like, the full benefit, you need to either be losing or you need to put yourself in a disadvantaged state, right? Like, you need to, what's the name of that card? Blinding Ray twice if you have Andrew Woman, so that you're able to, like, put in as much work with her, right? Gotcha. So I think that, and her second ability, which is the when Digiball being -2 security, you're more than likely not going to be Digivolving outside. Yeah. So you don't see that go in as much, right? So I think that she's a nice tech option, but not necessarily like a 4 of. I think that she's a little overhyped as well. Because again, like, you need to either like you'll have great comebacks if you're losing with her, but I don't think that to the point that, like, you need to put yourself at 3 security. I don't think that she's that good anymore, right?
Yeah. And so the main reason why I'm on the other side of the camp where I think the hype is kind of justified for Angelomon is because I've gotten my butt handed to me on a silver platter so many times. And even, like, because, like, you're right. Like, you're putting yourself at a disadvantage.
Yeah.
Right? In order to get that, right? You have to be at 3 security or less to be able to do that. But I've seen, like, yellow players, they don't care. Like, they'll do it, put themselves back down to 3 memory, and then, you know, they'll bring out the rookie, and sometimes the rookie that they'll bring out recovers them, right? So, and then I'm just, now they got like a 3 wide board. They put blockers on like over each of them.
-2 security.
The -2 security, right? That works not in every matchup, but a lot of matchups. So, like, let's take for example the colors that don't do that well with removal. Blue Imperial Dramon, like, you know, right? You do that.
Ancient Guruman as well.
Ancient Guruman stopped.
Yeah.
Even my black deck stopped. Like, I can't do my aggressive play next turn because they're -2 security, and I can't put them at +3, right? And blue can't do that either. So it's not good against every matchup, but it works against a lot of matchups.
Yeah.
So I can see where you're coming from. I do differ a little bit, but I mean, everyone's like entitled to their own opinion.
I just think that I just think that you can get the same amount of payoff if you just do Lord Nightmon without having to put yourself at a point where, like, okay, I'm burning myself, right? Yeah. But other than that, let's talk about your favorite color. Black.
Yeah, before I forget it, like last video. All right, so I'm just, it's not really a specific card. It's like, it's 2 cards, but they both like do the exact same thing. And it's the level 4 Digimon that give jamming as an inheritable to Reboot Digimon. Yeah. So I'm just not a huge fan of the game plan of either giving your level 6 Reboot with Toy Agumon to try to get jamming, or like running level 6 Digimon that have Reboot. Like, to me, it's kind of like a weak game plan. It slows you down, one, because, you know, they're 2 costs, right? So if you put out 1 memory, you know, you could put your opponent back in 1 memory, but if they're running a memory tamer, then
what's the matter?
You know, it doesn't matter. Like, to me, it's just like you're chipping. That's all you're doing is just like chipping your Digimon reboots, and they're kind of safe. Like, with all the removal and control we have, they're just barely safe. Yeah. And so I don't know. I feel like jamming, it's good with blue because blue could swing. I was just gonna say that. Yeah, blue could swing a ton. Yeah. Right. So they could take advantage of that jamming like multiple times. With black, you're just doing it once.
And you're chipping damage, and that's it.
1 chip, you got Metal Greymon, you do 2, and that's it. Like, to me, it's just, like, not that hot of a game plan.
Yeah, and, like, we were talking about, like black just doesn't necessarily always need jamming the same exact way why, like, you know, like, red doesn't need that much DP gain, because black also has, like, a lot of ways to gain DP. Right, Dogmamon, Final Zubagam Punch.
Heck yeah!
What's Kapurimon that gives 1,000 to blockers?
DP. Yeah, to blockers.
And the other one to reboot. To reboot, right? Yeah. So it already has a lot of DP gaining. And if you're going to hit like something in security that's going to kill your Digimon at like 16k, it's gonna be a Gaia Force. It's going to be like something else, right? It's not going to be something that would have killed you if you had jam. Yeah. Right? So black has a lot of DP gaining, and it doesn't necessarily need jamming, for example.
I think both of us are just a bigger fan of the Final Zubagon Punch route than like a reboot route. And that's not to say like I don't want to make a reboot deck, because I have a couple ideas for one. But relying solely on like jamming reboot, I just feel like that's weak. Yeah. And I think like the one thing that's just kind of good, but to me requires too much setup, is the promo Black War Greymon. If you get the right line, you need Toy Agumon and Metal Greymon, right? And then, you know, you put in the jamming one. You swing for 2 checks, Digiburst, unsuspend, swing for another 2 checks, Digiburst, unsuspend. To kind of go for an OTK, but I think relying too much on needing Toy Agumon just like sucks. So I'm just like reboot jamming. I'm like, I don't really care for it.
Yeah, all that to say, stay tuned for more black deck profiles.
Dude, that's like all we're posting at this point is like black deck profiles.
But we will be posting
other colors.
Yeah, I promise.
Yeah, we just like, it's because like we've seen a lot of the other colors like repeatedly, but there's not a whole lot of black.
And all of our other decks I feel like are pretty straightforward.
Pretty standard,
well. So, yeah. Black is definitely an interesting color to build. Next up is a color that you and I think differently on, right? So I'll start it off. So I think that in purple, a card that is a little overhyped is Chaos Galamond. Chaos Galamond says he's a 4-cost to Digivolve, right? Mm-hmm. Not just that, but like when you Digivolve into him, you may delete one of your Digimon to delete one of your opponent's level 5 or lower Digimon. And then whenever one of your Digimon die, you may bring back a level 3, right? So definitely has a lot of use. Not saying that this card has no use. It's really good, but I think that if you're playing solely a Chaos Galamond deck, early game Chaos Galamond is not as good, because you would have to. More than likely, right now we're in a meta that like people keep their Digimon in their raising area until they're level 6s, right? Mm-hmm. So if you get to your Chaos Galamond before they bring out a level 5, then you're more than likely not going to be doing much, right? Other than that, if someone hard plays a level 3, they either don't care about like losing that level 3, right? They're just probably gonna chip at you the next turn, right, with that level 3, or they're just going to they just don't care if they lose it, right? Mm-hmm. Because for the most part, when we see someone hard play a level 3, they're just like either trying to search or they're trying to what's it called? Yeah, I would say that mostly
to search.
Yeah, like speaking for myself, like
or go wide.
Exactly. Go wide for it. But like other than Rookie Rush, nobody's really doing that right now, right? So if you're playing a level 3, you're not caring to lose it, right? So that's early game, right? If you get to your Chaos Galamond, it's more than likely that they're not going to have another level 3 on the other side, or a level 5 or below on the other side, or raise their level 5, right? And if they raise their level 6, like Chaos Galamond does nothing, right? Yeah. Late game, he is a little more useful, but at the same time, it's late game, right? Like you're getting rid of one thing, and you're at this point like building up to another Chaos Galamond for like what, right? Like you probably already done like most of the things. If you have to build up to another Chaos Galamond, like you're probably losing the game. Like.
Yeah. I think so. The reason why I defer just a little bit is because I do think, like I totally agree that you could play around Chaos Galamond. You stay in your raising, go all the way up to level 5. You go to level 6, Chaos Galamond ain't doing crap. Jack Diddley. But I do think at the same time too, you can kind of like work that to your strength and have a broad spectrum of the Digimon you could delete if you run support in the form of like Hell's Gate and Plutomon, right? Because now you could delete everything that's level 5 and below and everything that's level 6 and higher and cover the spectrum.
But at that point, we're just more talking about like deck building than we are about like the card itself, right? Like at that point, we're just talking about like how you build your deck and how you're going to play around them playing around you, right? Like this at this point, we're talking about how like the player is strategizing. We're not talking about how like, you know, like Chaos Galamond is good early game, right? But I do agree with you on like if you're building it the right way, like with Hell's Gate, Plutomon, and other stuff.
And you know, he also, I think having like being able to bring rookies back in, like I don't know, I've seen crazy combos just like bring the rookie back in, delete 2 Chaos Galamonds in play, and just like a bunch of shenanigans with like nonstop rookie recursion. So but I think like if I had to choose one that I think is overhyped, and you don't see it too often, but like, you know, people talk about like purple OTK, and usually one of the first Digimon they'll look at is like Krisgaruman or Tactimon. I think Tactimon's better, and Krisgaruman I think is just like a little overhyped. One is like, I could rarely ever justify like a 4-cost level 6, right? At least Chaos Gallant could reduce it to 3 in a sense by deleting your Guilmon on Digievolution. But Krisgaruman, like almost every time you go into him, you're going to have to pass turn and wait to put in work. And I know I have a couple 4-costs in my deck profiles. You have Craniumon, right? But Craniumon gives like an all-turn value. And Blitzgreymon, I'm kind of forced to run him because there's no other level 6 that goes from black to red than him and Durandamon. I'd probably pick a different one if there was another option. But so Krisgaruman, I just feel like, I don't know, he's too slow and too easy to stop. I'm not saying he's like bad by any means. I think he's probably better as like a tech option than like the main level 6 of a deck. Like I run 4 Krisgaruman, and he's like my main guy to OTK. If anything, I'd say Tactimon would be like your main OTK piece, and Krisgaruman would be more of a support.
Yeah, so I totally agree. I think that Tactimon is better, but the point where I disagree to where Krisgaruman is not overhyped is a couple of things. One, he's not overhyped. Two, he's more consistent than Chaos Galamond, for example, right? Like, he's more consistent in the sense of, like, he does what he wants to do regardless of there being something on your side or something on my side, right? Because once you Digivolve into Krisgaruman, like, that's it. Like, dude, like, you just Digiburst, bring out a Digimon. If you have Black War Growl under him, like, it's over. Like, you swing, bring him back. You swing, you delete that Digimon, right? You restand your Krisgaruman, and then you can swing again, +1 security, and also, like, you can Digiburst after, bring something else back. So his game plan, like, he's able to do a lot of stuff. Not to mention that you can even do Demonic Disaster with him, right? Like, Digiburst 2 and then Demonic Disaster again, right? So I think he's a lot more consistent. I do think that Tactimon is a lot better still, just because, like, the ability to activate 2,000 DP.
Is it, 2,000, gain a memory,
and
delete 3 level 3s.
Like, he's wild. Bro.
Yeah.
And he's only a 3 cost too. So I totally agree that Tactimon is a lot better. I just think that Krisgaruman decks are still more consistent than a Chaos Galamond deck by himself. Right?
Yeah. And that's just a point we disagree on. Yeah. Even though we make videos together doesn't mean we agree on every point.
Yeah.
One thing we do agree on, right?
Yep.
The last thing.
The last thing, and we strongly really agree on this one.
Not really color specific, but, like, I think an overhyped card type in the meta is one cost blockers.
Yep.
1 cost to Digivolve blockers, that's 5,000 DP.
Absolutely.
So, I get it. Turbo, go quick. Bring a blocker out, easy, put your opponent at 1 memory, great. But there are so many things that remove a 5,000 DP Digimon so easily that, like, it's almost like nothing. Like, dude, I hear stories about, like, you know, our friend Martin who plays Shaman DX.
Yep.
And because everyone's playing the 1 cost 5,000, he go Digivolve Shaman, put Zeke. I got Omnimon Shaman. I delete both of your blockers, and I'll use Zeke to swing into your level 6 that's in play. Whole board wiped.
Yep.
Just like that.
Yeah,
you know?
and we get it, right? Like, memory efficiency is the name of the game, right? Like, especially early game, you want to be able to try and get into your level 6 as quickly as possible. But, like, you know, like, it's not a 4 of either, right? Like, it's not something that you need to run 4 of in order to get your game plan going, right? Like, you can totally run, like, 6k 2 cost blockers as well and probably do even better, right? Because now you're not getting a 5k body moved, like, they're removed, like, they're susceptible to, like, freaking, like you said, Shoutmon, susceptible to what's his name, what's that Digimon, Omnimon Alteress, Needhogmon, like everything, bro, like everything. There's option cards that, like, just remove 5k DP or lower Digimon, right? So, you know, that being said, I run a full set. And
you see my deck profile, you know I only run 2 Dark Tyrannomon.
But I've been considering cutting 2 for just Woodmon because the mirror match with against a Nidhoggmon, like, it's just sucks, dude.
Yeah, and that's you're scared. Like, when you know they have removal that's specific to 5,000 DP Digimon, it's scary. And the thing is, you want your blockers too.
Yep.
Like, you lead a part of the game plan is to leave a blocker in play just in case. Build up your guy on the side, and then, you know, do damage with that blocker just in case you need to protect your level 6 or protect your security from, like, a 3 security check or whatever, right? So having a blocker that's too easily removed, like, it sucks.
Yeah.
So,
and now you're living in fear. Now you're living in fear of a Nidhogg, you're living in fear of a Shoutmon, you're living in fear of Alteress. Remove those fears. Life starts when fear is removed. So, play more.
Take control of your life.
Take control of your life.
Don't let others control your life.
I think
about it.
That sounds about the end of the video.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Let us know like which one of us you think.
Yeah.
Like, are you on my side? Are you on his side? What's up? Like,
yeah, on purple. Purple.
You think we're both dumb? I don't
know. You more than likely think that we're both dumb.
Who cares?
Let us know too.
Just tell me.
Just tell me how dumb I am. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for the support and stay stacking.
Hey, we got it at the same time.